What if one of the rarest Mustangs ever built wasn't designed to be a sales superstar at all? And what if Ford created a car so extreme that it was really built for the racetrack, not Main Street? Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1969 Boss 429 Mustang, a machine born during the peak of the muscle car era, with a massive race-bred engine and engineering that pushed the limits of what a Mustang could be. It stood apart from everything else Ford was building, yet its short life only added to its legend, turning this overlooked powerhouse into one of the most coveted Ford muscle cars of all time. The muscle car war that created the Boss 429. By the late 1960s, America was in the middle of an all-out horsepower war. Every major automaker wanted to build the fastest, toughest machine on the road. Chevrolet had its big block Camaros, Dodge was pushing the Charger, and Plymouth was making headlines with the Roadrunner. Ford knew it couldn't afford to sit on the sidelines. But the company's biggest battle wasn't happening at local drag strips. It was happening on NASCAR tracks across the country. Back then, racing rules required manufacturers to sell a certain number of street versions of an engine before it could compete. Ford had developed a powerful new 429 cubic inch V8. But there was one problem. It needed a home. The Mustang became the perfect candidate, even though the huge engine was never designed for the car. This wasn't about building the next best-selling Mustang. It was about proving that Ford could beat its rivals where it mattered most. That decision gave birth to the Boss 429, one of the most unusual Ford muscle cars ever created. But fitting a race-bred engine into a Mustang would turn out to be far more complicated than anyone expected. And the challenges were only beginning. The Mustang that had to be rebuilt. The moment Ford decided to place the massive 429 engine into a Mustang, the project immediately ran into reality. This wasn't a simple drop-in upgrade. The engine was so large that it physically wouldn't fit inside a standard Mustang engine bay without serious changes. To solve this, Ford turned to CarCraft, a specialized engineering contractor. What they created was almost a different car hiding under a familiar badge. The front shock towers had to be heavily modified just to make space. The suspension was reworked, the battery was relocated, and even the hood had to be reshaped to clear the enormous engine sitting underneath. Every Boss 429 Mustang was essentially hand-finished, not mass-produced on a normal assembly line. That alone pushed costs way higher than Ford originally planned. And yet, despite all that effort, the result wasn't just a brute-force drag machine. It was surprisingly refined in some ways, almost hiding its true potential from anyone who didn't know what they were looking at. But under that subtle exterior sat one of the most serious engines Ford had ever built for a Mustang. And once it hit the road, its reputation would start spreading fast among people who understood what it really was. The real reason for the Boss 429. To understand the Boss 429, you have to look past the street version and go straight to the racetrack. Ford didn't build this engine just for showrooms. It was designed to compete in NASCAR's brutal top-tier racing. At the time, NASCAR required manufacturers to produce and sell a street version of any engine they wanted to race. That rule is what pushed Ford to place its massive 429 cubic inch V8 into a Mustang body. This wasn't about comfort, styling, or even everyday performance. It was about homologation, getting the engine approved for competition. The Mustang was simply the platform Ford chose to meet that requirement. Inside, the Boss 429 engine was a serious piece of engineering, with a semi-hemispherical combustion chamber design and heavy-duty internals. It was built for high-speed endurance rather than quick showroom impressions. Official horsepower ratings were conservative, but real-world performance told a different story, especially at higher speeds where the engine really came alive. The key point is simple. Ford wasn't trying to create the ultimate street Mustang. They were trying to win on Sunday, so they could prove dominance in the most important racing battles in America at the time. Why Ford quietly walked away, even with all its engineering brilliance. The Boss 429 was never an easy car for Ford to justify. Every single unit cost far more to build than a standard Mustang. And most of that expense came from the heavy modifications required just to make the engine fit. This wasn't a profitable direction for a mass-market muscle car company. At the same time, the entire muscle car era was starting to shift. Insurance companies were raising premiums on high-performance vehicles, and government pressure on emissions and safety was beginning to tighten. The golden age of unrestricted horsepower was slowly fading in the background. Ford had achieved what it needed from a racing perspective, and the business case for continuing a low-volume, hand-built performance Mustang started to disappear. Production quietly ended after 1970, leaving only a few thousand Boss 429s ever made. There's no dramatic conspiracy here, just business reality catching up with engineering ambition. But that's exactly what makes the Boss 429 so fascinating. It wasn't killed by failure on the road. It was ended by cost, timing, and a changing automotive world that no longer rewarded this kind of extreme build. From forgotten to collector legend, for years after production ended, the Boss 429 wasn't treated like the crown jewel it is today. It was rare, yes, but rarity alone doesn't always equal respect. These cars were expensive to maintain, difficult to restore, and overshadowed by more famous Mustangs like the Boss 302 and Shelby models. But over time, enthusiasts started to understand what they were really looking at. Only about 859 units were built in 1969, with a similar number in 1970. That kind of production number instantly puts it in rare territory, even among vintage muscle cars. Then the market shifted. Collectors began chasing originality, engineering, uniqueness, and factory-built performance stories. That's where the Boss 429 started to explode in value. Well-preserved examples eventually reached auction prices well into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, with some crossing the $1 million mark depending on condition and history. What was once a misunderstood engineering experiment slowly transformed into one of the most respected Ford muscle cars ever produced. The same car that struggled to make sense in its own time became a benchmark for what collectors dream about today. Raw, rare, and built with no compromise on purpose. The legacy nobody expected. The Boss 429 didn't just disappear after production ended. It slowly built a reputation Ford itself never fully controlled. While it wasn't a long-running nameplate like the Mustang GT or Boss 302, its impact on Ford's performance identity ran deeper than most people realize. It proved that Ford was willing to go to extreme lengths for racing success, even if the street version never made perfect sense on paper. In many ways, the Boss 429 became a symbol of pure engineering ambition. It showed what happens when a company builds a car around a racing rulebook instead of a marketing plan. That mindset influenced how Ford approached performance models in later decades, even if they never repeated this exact formula again. Among collectors, the Boss 429 now sits in a category of its own, not just because it's rare, but because it represents a very specific moment in American automotive history, when horsepower wars, NASCAR pressure, and raw experimentation all collided. It became a halo car for Ford's muscle car legacy, a reminder of what the brand was capable of when rules were looser and risks were higher. And maybe that's the real twist. The Boss 429 wasn't built to become a legend. It was built to win races. But history had a different plan, and it made sure this Mustang would never be forgotten. The Boss 429 started as a racing solution, not a legend, but time turned it into something far greater. From a costly experiment to one of Ford's most respected classics, its story still echoes through muscle car history. If you want more legendary cars and untold stories, make sure you subscribe.